Hi, I'm Emily Soloby, founder of Juno Jones, the stylish safety boot company, and your host on the Hazard Girls podcast here on Jacket Media. I'm so honored to host this show where I get to chat with Hazard Girls about their careers. Hazard Girls is an online community for women working in traditionally male-dominated fields. On our show, you'll get to hear from these amazing women about the path that led them to their current careers, challenges they've overcome, advice for other women in entering these industries, and more. Brazil native Perlla Deluca is now a general contractor and entrepreneur in Des Moines, Iowa. She is the owner of Southeast Constructors, a general contracting firm, and she is also the founder of the Iowa School of Construction, which will be opening in February of 2024. Perlla was recently named one of the top 15 people to watch in 2023 by the Des Moines Register for her work with the Iowa School of Construction. Welcome to the Hazard Girls podcast, Perlla.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Emily.
Did I get that right in the intro? Did I get everything right?
Yes,
there?
yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate. The only thing is a little different. Our classes are starting in April this year.
I was wondering about that. I saw that the classes are going to be starting in February, but now you're gonna start those in April.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to hear all about this school that you're starting, and I feel like I also left off something. I read something about another award you recently won.
What can it be? Oh, I just graduated with a construction accelerated program with Turner, which is just to help. So some of the larger employers now in the construction industry are doing this kind of programs to help small businesses in the industry and to include diversity into their, team.
Yeah.
So that's one of my graduations last week. And I also speak in different events, anything that can be geared towards helping women or help minorities entering the industry. Mm-hmm. So I'm all for it.
That must have been what I was thinking of. And we love Turner Construction. One of our very first podcast episodes was with a contractor from Turner Construction. So that's so funny. Yeah, I think this is our 120th episode now. So
awesome.
All right. Well, I want to hear all about your journey, Perlla, and how you came to be in the US, first of all. Did you come here for the construction industry?
No, I came here. I was 20 years old. I came just as a tourist and I stayed. And back then I didn't speak English. And I didn't a lot of people read the interviews and they're like, do you really came with $100? Yes, I did come with $100. Let's set the record. It was $100. That's it.
Oh my God.
So I did whatever I had to do, lived on my car, worked on restaurants, cleaning, washed boats, everything. And then eventually I got my own schedule of cleaning houses. And then when my English got a little better, I got into construction, started doing small residential projects. At the time, I didn't have the opportunity to go to college in my country due to money. And then here I couldn't go because I was just a tourist. Mm-hmm. So you just do what you got to do, right? And I knew that if I stay on the cleaning, I'm like, how I'm going to grow? Then I went into construction, just saw more money per hour. Yeah. Especially when I come to use to be an owner, I saw more potential.
But how did you even have this idea that the construction industry was open to you? Because first of all, this is a while ago. And nowadays, most women don't even think the construction industry is open to them. They may not be aware. So how did you even come to learn about it?
So my dad in Brazil, even though he was in pharmaceuticals, I saw him build our house. So I love construction. I always did. But when I was doing the cleaning, was my way in, on the beginning. But when you are cleaning houses, normally, sometimes they're construction homes. So I talk to the guys. I always say when you have an extra language is an extra skill. Mm-hmm. So I always talk to the guys and I learned Spanish pretty quick, even though I speak Portuguese. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh, that's how much you can make if you do drywall or painting. And I'm like, I need to switch gears, Mm-hmm. So, and I did start with a small construction company working for a construction company. And then now with the years, I bought my partner out and wasn't like, oh, I just gave him money, like took 13 years for me to totally buy him out. But yeah, since 2013, I own Southeast Constructors.
And now you started out in the construction industry in Florida, right?
Yes.
So how did you end up in Iowa?
So that's that too. So I did the construction, I did residential, I did commercial, but my dream always was to do road work. And the thing with Florida is very saturated. So, and was really hard, not only for women that is a small business to get on that level of construction, but also because if they were trying to meet a goal for the government, there are a lot of minorities. So there is no really an advantage. So when I was in Florida, I also had 3 real estate offices. So I had, another business. When the real estate got slow, I said, we got to switch gears. And we got a couple projects in Cedar Rapids for the flood since, to bridge that gap. At some point, we went into government work. So we do flood restoration, we do FEMA work. And we came to Cedar Rapids to do 3 projects. And I just fell in love with Iowa. And then I kept staying. And that was 2009. So, and I'm still here.
And now everybody knows your name there.
It's so funny. I mean, when I came to Des Moines, then I was able to get into federal, which is also hard for women, small business women. I keep saying that because it's very important to understand that women do not have the same chance on federal sometimes. So you got to fight your way through. And my first project was in 2017, was the Truman House, our former president Truman. And I told them, just give me a chance, anything. You want me to clean this wall, clean the wall. I'll paint the wall, clean the floor, give me something. And then once they gave me that, that was 2017. I did 26 projects since.
Okay, let's back up a little bit because I think this is really good for people to understand how the process works. So you were in the construction industry when you were in Florida, but then you got into business with a partner and the 2 of you were doing different construction projects. You ended up in Iowa. At what point did you start looking into the Small Business Administration and federal contracting and that kind of thing?
Actually, I had already looked in Florida. I applied to be a minority. You need to be certified 8A, the number 8, the letter A, in order to have an advantage on women-owned or Latin-owned businesses. And those contracts where you can negotiate directly, where instead of like 500 people bidding, might be 10 people bidding. So to have that advantage, you need that certification. I did try in Florida. The offices there are overwhelmed. It takes years to process an application. So I was doing a concrete repair in Des Moines downtown for the city of Des Moines. I saw the SBA office. I said, I'm going up there. I was like, maybe here will be easier, right? So I go up. They saw me the next day. Wow. And since my application was ready, I just had to change location. The experience is the same. Everything else was the same. It's just I need to change to their jurisdiction. I got approved in 4 weeks. Wow. And then since that, I never looked back.
Isn't that amazing? You were hitting walls left and right in Florida because they were so overwhelmed. The population maybe was bigger. It was overwhelmed at the office. You go to a different state and got right in. So, okay, ladies, this is a very important lesson. If you find yourself hitting walls, maybe you just need to move to another state. Maybe you can
maybe not that drastic, right? But no, the lesson is like, there is no such a thing as no. Just keep positioning yourself, keep pushing forward, keep looking at, if you keep hitting a door, go around it.
Yeah.
So it's just keep trying different strategic, like if you go to a place and they say no, maybe it's just that person that they say no to you. Maybe they're having a bad day. I don't take no ever. So I come the next day, I meet them at the coffee shop before they go to work to see if they're on a better mood, and they would just give me the time of the day. So never take no. Before I got the Truman House, I visited with the lady for 2 years. And I kept asking for her to give me a chance. And one day I got the phone call. So
how, I don't know, this sounds like very up my alley because I love, the idea of networking personally, not just emailing people and things like that, but actually meeting them in person and talking to them. But did you actually meet up with them outside of the office? Did you just show up at the coffee shop? How did you find them?
That was just an example. But for example, for federal, you need to meet with the agencies. The agencies are very skeptical to give a contract, a first-time contract to somebody that never did federal contract. And if you're a small business, you even like, they don't want it. They are afraid because if you don't do a good job and they took a chance on you, it could cost their job too. So what do? We go to events, buyers events, we go to the Army Corps events, we go to the national parks events. So on the Truman House case, I went to Omaha has their main office, National Parks has their main office in Omaha. So I go there all the time and talk to the contractors officers and say, listen, just give me a chance. I know I don't have best performance. So they're like, we are not even going to consider you. But then I tell her, how can I have best performance if you never give me a chance to perform? Right. So then I did it. And then after the first best performance, you almost in, you still got to do a great job. People think, oh, I'm a small business, women owned, with advantages because I'm minority. You know, you still got to deliver the project. You know, we don't just get work because of the set asides. We get constant work because we do good work.
Exactly. And the set asides are there to make up for discrimination that has taken place traditionally. Yeah. So it's not like, you're getting a special.
It's not a handout.
Right. That's exactly what I was just saying. Yeah. It's not a handout at all. It barely makes up for the past.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about the Truman House. What was the significance of that to you?
For me, I mean, I don't want to get emotional, but I'm an immigrant. So it was just a privilege, like I felt so honored to work on a federal project with my business as an immigrant. You know what I mean? I felt like I made it, right? Like I'm here, they gave me a chance. We finished ahead of schedule. I was there every day because my biggest fear was if it doesn't go right? Mm-hmm. So I'm really proud of that project and many others. We already did 7 projects with the national park since, so yeah.
So that project came through the national park system?
Yeah, that is part of the national parks. Right now we are putting a bridge at Effigy Mounds in Wisconsin for also the national parks. So yeah, we work on different of their locations. We love working with them. They're a great agency. They are an agency that really gives chance to small businesses. So
And so tell me about some of your favorite projects. I know you mentioned the bridge. Is that the Women of Achievement Bridge?
Yes, the Women of Achievement Bridge. A lot of people think I built that bridge. I didn't. What we did in 2017 also, we resurfaced it. Like there was issues with the surface, the concrete surface. So we put a new surface in it. So
what is the historical story behind that bridge?
So that bridge was owned by Principal. And the goal was to put plaques on the bridge of women of achievement out of Iowa, right? Women that for example, our first African-American mayor, things like that. So they all have plaques of the women. So when that project came out, and I won on a bid, just a competitive bid, I remember the guy was so mad that I won. He's like, are you going to do the bridge? I was like, you damn right, I'm going to do the bridge. And then I did it. And I love the name of it. I just feel it's amazing to be working on a Women of Achievement Bridge.
Now, which guy said that to you?
Oh, who lost on the bridge?
Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. Women of Achievement. It makes sense. So, all right. So then, and you've done work at a zoo, and what else? What are some of your other favorite projects?
My latest project, we worked for a year for the Army Corps of Engineers. We did a restoration project a whole year long in Illinois. Tons of excavation, demolition. We took 18 trailers down, 3 metal buildings. So a lot of people think that women is just we paint walls and pick colors. No. I can operate all the machines. We can do heavy construction. I want to say that because I want women, especially young women out there, to understand that we can do anything we put our minds to. And a lot of things that people don't know, women can make up to $60 an hour in construction, just being quality control or safety inspectors. So I just want to put that bug on the women's gear. You just got to get certifications and dedicate yourself to the industry, and you can make a really good, earn a good living.
I'm just curious because you were cleaning when you were very young, when you first got to the US, you were cleaning rooms, and then you saw the construction workers and they told you, no, you can make way more money doing the drywall and the other things. How much did your salary jump up?
I would say it's double at least, you
Yeah.
know. So you always gotta look at business. A lot of people also ask me why you want to get into heavy construction. I make a lot more money doing heavy construction than I would if I was doing drywall.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everything else. The bigger the machines,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the
Somebody
more.
asked, somebody asked me recently, why do we need more women in construction? And I said, the question is, why shouldn't women be able to benefit from construction?
And also the fact that we have a shortage right now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like women have such a momentum now, right?
Mhm.
And we have a shortage in construction. So just a little factual here. The UK is 50-50. South American women are building buildings by themselves. There's no men on their crew, you know. So I think we're a little behind when the US only has 10% of the women making, you know. But on that, a lot of people ask me, is it hard to be a woman in construction? Yes, it is. But it's especially hard if you don't know what you're doing. So I always say you got to have the right training and learn the skills, because once you're on site and you know what you're doing, nobody can touch you.
Let's talk about the labor shortage. I know, obviously it affects, you're in the construction industry, you see the effects of it probably firsthand all the time. What do you think is the best solution for the labor shortage?
I mean, there is no fast solution right now, because we lost a generation. Like, this generation was not trained by their parents at home to cut the grass or, to do outside activities. I think the only hope we have is to train the new generation properly, so they develop that critical thinking and understand that it is something to be proud when you build something with your own hands. Like, we can all call IKEA to deliver a table, but it wouldn't be great if you build a table and every time you look at it, you were like, I built this. So we just got to bring that back a little bit.
Well, you said we lost a generation. Can you expand on that?
So the past generations, like, the youth is just on their computers. Like, used to be, for example, my dad taught me to drive at 15. I knew how to drive motorcycles, cars. I knew how to do stuff around the house, cut the grass, fix things, right? Fix a sink. But this generation, the only thing they know is this, right? The little thumbs on the phone. So the problem with that is that it's even harder. Like, right now, my school teaches units of measurement, because the new generation don't know how to measure. So we got to start from scratch. But the good thing about start from scratch is that they are ready to learn everything. So
yeah. And okay, you mentioned your school. So that's what I really want to get into now, because that's sort of where I was going with the idea of the labor shortage. One of your solutions to the labor shortage is starting your own school, the Iowa School of Construction.
Yeah.
Who is the school for?
So the school is for everybody, first of all, but I do have a soft spot for women in construction. And also, because I'm an immigrant, I want to help the immigrants too. So if they are not getting ahead on their career because language is a barrier, I want to help with that barrier. If they're not getting ahead because they don't know how to put a resume together in this country to the format that they will be hired, so then I'll help with that. Like, my goal is just to empower people, to help people. I've been through not having and now being on a better situation. I know the steps, not that I know everything, but I can help them with the steps into a better job, into a better career. It breaks my heart when I see single mothers working for $15 an hour when they could take an I class and make 35. It's just, sometimes is what you don't know.
So true. So tell us more about the school. So you said it's for everybody. What age?
So right now we have two programs, adults 18 to any age. Everybody's welcome. And then I create a summer youth program for 14 to 24, which is high school graduates, or if they are on the last year of high school and they are already interested in the trades. Our programs, they are a little different than most trade schools that are a year and a half or 2-year apprenticeship. We are a pre-apprenticeship. We are 12 weeks, and for the summer youth, 8 weeks. And you're going to touch, each week, you're going to touch a little bit of different areas of construction: drywall, painting, machinery, loading things. driving a truck, hooking up a trailer, like practical things that you're gonna, even if you decide not to go into construction, you're gonna take those skills to life. And I believe every skill you learn, you keep with you. That's like your little toolbox that you can go to anytime you need it. Maybe you come to the school and you decide to flip houses, but at least now you know, and nobody's going to take advantage of you if they came to give you a prize.
Yes, my grandmother always used to say you can lose things, but no one can take away your education. Yes. So I think that's a really important point, that you're teaching skills that people can then take with them and use in their career however they determine. Now, how are you encouraging women to join in on this?
So you are familiar with that because you have an amazing media. So a lot of I never advertised for the school yet, but a lot of the girls that came to us is through my media. Just seeing me on site, seeing me operating, and then we post everything, and we just like encouraging women, right? And I go to a lot of events where I get to meet all the ladies, and it just, one thing about women that I love, they support each other, and then they spread the word. Like men, they get together, they drink beer, right? But women, we're like, oh, I just tried this shampoo, it's amazing, you gotta try, right? Every time there's something good, we spread the word, because we have that helping other thing,
Right.
So
that's true. We do get excited about shampoo. All right, so I mean, how are you handling you haven't started the school yet. It launches in April, but you're gearing up for it. Okay. What are some tips then for women who are thinking about joining the school, but it's such not discouraging, but it's such a intimidating idea for them. It's daunting. How do you encourage them?
And that's when I talk to women, and I talk in a lot of high schools and things like that, it's always like, it's intimidating because you don't know. So you don't need to go and apply with them and be like, maybe, feel uncomfortable on a construction site. You can come to our school, which is a family. We are going to teach you. There's no judgment. Everybody learns at different stages. But the difference when you leave here, you are going to walk on a site confident, and that's the difference. I think more than what we build here, besides the skills, it's just confidence.
And how are people getting matched up with the right jobs after they finish?
So we created like a student platform where they watch the channels. So our school is 90% hands-on, 10% literature. So they they watch the videos. That same platform has an employer portal where after all this, they graduate, their certifications, sorry, my Portuguese, their certifications become a live resume, and the employers can hire. I'm really connected with the employers in Des Moines, so I made sure all the employers are in. And then at the end of graduation, we have industry days where the employers get to pitch to the students. It's always like, oh, I'm hoping they see me. No, now you tell why they should work for you, and then we go from there.
What are some of the barriers that, I don't like talking about negative stuff. What are some of the barriers that women are facing that you're seeing where you are, and some ways maybe we can overcome those?
I think that the biggest barriers is always that product, like that assumption that women cannot do construction. Construction changed a lot. It's no longer like labor intense. So if you can operate a machine, you can drive a truck, it's very different than it used to be. So I think it's important. I think the biggest issue, and I'm like you, I don't believe in negative thoughts. So I believe the barriers are on people's minds. So we just gotta show them that with the proper training, they can overcome.
I love that. And I was talking to another guest on the podcast who has a robotics company, and they're creating robots that do, for example, what they do is drywall. So robots that do the drywall. And so it goes up to a certain height that maybe normally people would have to climb up on something. So no longer matters about your stature.
Yeah.
So it eliminates those barriers. So I agree with you that because things are changing so quickly in that area of construction and technology, it's making it an even more welcoming place for women. And it's something it's even more excitement that we need to spread, to let women know about the industry, and that even it's reducing barriers.
Definitely. Yeah, I think I'm a living proof that women can do well in construction, that college is not for everybody. I didn't have a chance to go to college, but I didn't go like poor me. I didn't go to college. I just kept pushing and hope that was going to do well. And now that I feel so accomplished in this 20 something years, that's why this school is so important to me. I want to help people have the confidence to either start their business or be on the construction industry, knowing that they're going to earn great money and have a good living.
What is your advice for, because you mentioned that you're an immigrant, you came from Brazil. What is your advice for other people in that position?
I would say, come with an open mind, just work hard. Like, don't have those conceived notions that, I'm too good for this. There's no too good for anything. Honest work is honest work. If you need to make a living, just do what you got to do, but also don't be complacent. Like I always, when I was cleaning houses, not that there's nothing wrong with that, but I always thought that was a stepping stone to where I wanted to be.
Yeah. And if you are interested in construction, how do you make the choice about, there's so many options in construction. How do you make the choice about what trade to learn or what area to go into?
So I'm a big believer to do what you love is not working anymore. So I think taking a program like ours, I don't know what type they have in other states, but take a short program, take a workshop in carpentry and see if that's for you, like out of all the areas I don't like electric and I love concrete, so it has to speak to you, because if you're going to do that most of your life, why not do something you love?
So you have your business, which you're very busy with. You have all these contracts and so many things on the horizon. And then you have the school, which is a whole new project that's getting launched right as we speak. Where do you see your business and the school in the next 5 years?
I just see, I feel like the business and the school go together on a way. Yeah. And I want to have another extension of my business, right? So, and then I have another plan coming up that ties all the three together. So for me, it's just also, I want to make construction more of a community. So it's only going to grow. When I started school, a lot of people were like, oh, maybe she's not serious. I acquired a school, elementary school, 20,000 square foot and 9 acres. I am serious. So I'm here to stay, so otherwise I wouldn't put myself in that.
Right. Well, Perlla Deluca, to say you're an inspiration is a vast understatement.
Oh, thank you so much. I was so looking forward. You were an inspiration. I was so looking forward to be on your podcast. I went and looked at all your social media, and just the fact that you thought of creating something for women that is safe, but is also fashionable. I love that.
Thank you. You're so kind. And I'm grateful to Dennis, our wonderful photographer, for introducing us through his friend who you work with. And it's been a great experience to get to know you and talk to you. And I hope we can stay in touch. I want our listeners to know how to stay in touch with you. Where can they find you?
So my LinkedIn is very, very, one of the ways that people come to me is just Perlla Deluca, which is Perlla Deluca. And also, if you want to check out the school, it's Iowa School of Construction. So that's our website, and I'll be glad to talk to anybody. But also, I'm always here if you need anything, or if you need me to speak, or anybody need help.
Perfect for Women in Construction Week. Perlla Deluca, general contractor and owner of Southeast Constructors and founder of the Iowa School of Construction, and all-around badass and entrepreneur. Thank you so much for joining us on the Hazard Girls podcast today.
Thank you so much, Emily. Have a good day.
You too. You have been listening to the Hazard Girls podcast on Jacket Media, sponsored by Juno Jones, the stylish safety boot company. That's JunoJonesShoes.com. And you can go there to learn about our steel toe boots and to join the Hazard Girls community. I'm your host, Emily Soloby. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next week.